I've already survived 100 days on this skyblock, but it's kind of empty. My house doesn't even have a roof, so I decided to survive 200 days on this skyblock. Day 101, and it started with a lightning storm. We have to go to bed, and the first thing I need to do is repair the tools that I almost broke. So I went wood mining to earn emeralds. Seriously, my axe is broken. I need to buy a new one. So after trading with the villagers, I bought myself a new axe. The next day, I continued mining for wood, but I quickly ran out of bone meal. So I went to the mob farm to get some. Day 104, I bought the mending enchantment from the librarian and threw that enchantment on my new axe. And then I spent all day mining wood. By the way, my anvil is broken, so I need to mine iron from these golems. And in just one day of farming golems, I managed to make myself a new anvil, with which I enchanted my hoe for luck and mending. I also enchanted my other tools for mending. Using a hoe with luck, I mined the leaves from a dark oak tree, and now I have 10 saplings, which means I can grow not just regular oak, but dark oak. And with the fact that I have mending on all my tools at the mob farm, I can repair them. On day 107, I enchanted my axe to efficiency 4, and to be honest with this efficiency, it became much more pleasant to chop wood. The next day, trading with the villagers, I enchanted my armor for mending. 109 days later, I enchanted the rest of the armor for mending, and after spending the whole day, I repaired all the items and armor as well. Day 110, I chopped down trees. After that, I finally built a roof for my house, which I didn't have time to build in the last survival. I think I'm ready to go to the end to find the end city, and I can already see the portal. I need to get there. Okay, now I need to find the end city, and I'm at the end of the world. They're very small on SKYBLOCK, so I have to go the other way to find the end city. I see some kind of building, and it looks like an end city. Then I need to kill the shulkers. And I can get straight to the ship. And here are my first elytra. By the way, there are diamonds in here, and there's some really cool loot in the chest, even some seeds. I also remembered to pick up the dragon head. Found another end city and looted the ship. I also looted the chests in the end city itself. And with the stuff I looted in the end city, I improved my armor and tools. I need to make a way to the other islands in Nether. And we'll start by making a path to the left side because I need nether vines. And here are these red vines, and let's use the scissors to mine them. There are custom crafts on this skyblock map, and I can use these vines to craft a nether rack, but I'll need it later to spawn the wither skeletons. Now, since I have elytra, I need to expand my sugarcane farm because it's too small. But before that, I mined wood to enchant my pickaxe for efficiency. The next day, I traded with the villagers and bought efficiency book. After that, I went to mined cobblestones to build an island with cane. The next day, I outlined the contour of the circle on which the new islands will be built, and in 2 days, I finished this huge circle. On the 121st day, I leveled the contour of the circle to 1 level. On day 122, I continued to finish the circle. And this is what this circle looks like. And we'll build new islands on the contours of it. And before I build the sugarcane farm, I want to finish this island of mine. Specifically, this part of the plain biome. And for this, I want to farm gold and bargain with the piglins to give me gravel. For 124 days, I converted the coarse dirt to regular dirt, after which I replaced the planks with dirt. But I still didn't have enough earth. Then I plowed that soil. Days 125 and 126 I spent trading with piglins and farming gold. On day 127 I finally rebuilt this island. After that I continued farming gold and trading with the piglin, as I would need a lot of dirt for the sugarcane farm. 128 days I mined the cobblestone and built the outline of the future sugarcane farm. And I need to build up this whole circle with dirt. I ran out of dirt. On day 130 and 131, I traded with the villagers and cut down trees. After that, I made an enchantment table with bookshelves. The next day, I enchanted my sword to a sweeping edge 3. And with this enchantment, I will now kill zombie piglins very fast. But for some reason, I can't enchant my main sword with the one I enchanted. So I crafted and enchanted a new sword on the enchanting table. These two swords are combined in the anvil, and now I have a super top enchanted sword. But I still need the mending enchantment. And I put the mending enchantment on as well. It's just a super sword. And all day long, I've been farming zombie piglins. And now I want to make a farm of magma cubes because I can use them to make magma blocks, with which I can improve this gold farm. And this is the basalt biome. Here I carefully need to make a platform for the slimes to spawn on. And there's quite a few magma blocks already spawned there. Let me try to kill them right away. And I only got 5 magma blocks from them. I need a lot more. Then let's expand the magma cubes farm. The magma cubes have spawned there and I can farm them again. Okay, and now I have almost a stack and a half of magma blocks. With these magma blocks, I replaced the cobblestone. Then I checked how the farm works, and all that has changed is that there are now only spawning zombie piglins. But to rebuild the whole farm, I need a lot of magma blocks. So I spent the whole day farming zombie piglins and trading with the piglins to get more gravel. Day 135, I recycled dirt and finished the sugarcane farm. The next day, I added a fence to the sugarcane farm and made a path to the main island. Then I planted the sugarcane, and that's all the sugarcane I had. I didn't have much. On day 137, I lighted up the sugarcane farm and went to see what there was on the other islands. I'm on a spruce island and there are wild berries. Let me then mine the leaves right away so I can have a spruce tree. Then I found an island with a birch tree with nothing interesting on it. It really pisses me off that I have all my lighting with torches. I want to replace it with blocks. And the best option, in my opinion, would be to make mushroom lights. On day 138, I farmed cobblestone all day. On day 139, I made a weeping vines farm, which I then improved. I spent the whole day growing and cutting down vines. And from one day of such farming, I managed to make almost a stack and a half of netherrack. The next day, I made myself a new pickaxe and enchanted it with silk touch to get crimson netherrack. Also on this day, I planted a new sugarcane cane. This crimson netherrack I immediately mined. Then I started building the crimson forest biome, where I will be able to grow trees on which will grow nether mushrooms. On this day, I managed to build 1/4 of this crimson island. The next day, I made another part of the Crimson Island. For 143 days, I further put up the sugarcane. And on the mob farm, I farmed bone meal since I was already out of it. The next 3 days, I farmed vines, put up netherrack, and farmed mobs. Day 147, I completed this island to the end. After that, I started growing crimson forest with bone meal. The next day, I planted sugarcane. At day 149, finished growing crimson biome and started farming trees for shroom lights. Day 150, to mine hell trees faster, I enchanted my hoe to efficiency 4. The next day, I was farming gold and rotten flesh on a farm in Nether. 152 days ago, I enchanted my hoe to an efficiency of 5. And now I mined the leaves of these trees instantly. After that, I mined these shroom lights and trees all day long. The next 4 days, I grew and mined crimson trees from which I got shroom lights. I mined a total of 2 stacks of shroom lights. Well, now I can put the shroom lights here so that no more bad mobs will spawn. By the way, on this island should be made a fence. Now we can continue to add shroom lights. And finally, I've illuminated this island completely. On the same day, I started to increase this sugarcane farm, and on day 160, I finished this farm. And that's how we have this farm. The next day, under the mob farm, I built a storage room. And to the farm of mobs, added a hopper and a chest where now will be collected things that drop out of the mobs. The next day, I mined cobblestone to build an island. On day 163, I built a circle and went to Nether to farm magma blocks. The next day, I replaced slabs of cobblestone with magma blocks, but that wasn't enough for me for 1 part of 3. So I went to bargain with the piglins to get gravel and convert it to coarse dirt. Day 165, I went back to the magma cubes farming spot and added wild berries to it, so the slimes would die on their own. Okay, and let's check how this stuff I set up here works. And the slime gets damaged, and I can hit it at the same time. It should, I think, increase my farming. And I got a stack and 22 magma blocks. I've been farming that much. Well, the gold farm got a little better than before, but I still have 2 more parts to replace. The next day, I was converting the coarse dirt to regular dirt. 167 days, I built another part of the island, but I ran out of dirt. And so for 5 days, I farmed gold, traded it with the piglins, and converted gravel into dirt, and put that dirt on the island. Only on the 173rd day, I finished adding dirt to this island. This is how this island looks like. It will have 4 animal farms in it, and I need to add a fence to it. Okay, now let's see what kind of mobs I have. And right away, I see a cow and a sheep. Let's take the cow then. And the first cow is ready, and we can close it here. The chicken is now on the farm too. And here's the second cow. And to keep these animals from disappearing, I'm going to give them name tags. And I also need to light up everything here so that no creepers and other mobs will spawn here. The third mob on this farm will be a sheep, which I'll give a name tag right away. And I immediately threw there the second sheep, and the fourth mob is a pig. On day 176, I went in search of other islands, and I found not very new swampy biome. After a few more minutes, I reached the borders of this world. I see a structure of some sort, and it looks like a witch's hut. And in this hut, we have a black cat tied up. What are you doing here? And basically, this hut could be useful, because I could make a great witch farm here, but we'll do that farm later. Let's go home now, because I'm running out of fireworks. Then I went to Nether, to the area where we have the blaze farm, then built up these blazes with wood, which was not a good idea. 177th day, built a platform for the wither skeletons, and on the platform, there are no mobs, but on the wooden roof, there are tons of them, and this roof was burned down completely, almost. After killing all the mobs, I began to rebuild this platform, and instead of building a roof, I built with slabs where blazes spawn. And now let's farm the wither skeletons and other mobs that spawn there. That was the last mob, and I have 3 wither skulls. We can go and spawn them. And before killing the wither, I took another chicken to the pen. Going to the end, I dug out a room under the portal and decided to spawn the wither under bedrock. But I did something wrong, and he flew to the top. I tried to fight against the wither in the air, but I didn't manage to kill him, so I went to get ready to spawn another wither. On day 181, I went to farm the wither skulls, and I farmed these 3 wither skulls until day 184. At the end, I enlarged the room and tried to spawn the wither again, but he flew into the freaking sky again. And now I have 2 withers here. And somehow, with this bedrock portal, I managed to kill the first wither. After that, the second one was much easier to kill. The next day, I crafted 2 beacons for myself. Then all day long, I traded with the villagers to build a pyramid for this beacon, and this trade continued until day 194, when I finally built a pyramid with a beacon. That same day, I bred chickens. The next 3 days, I built a new island where we will now have an iron farm. The next 2 days, I collected resources for the iron farm. Well, I've got the resources. Let's go build. Okay, it's done. Now we need to find zombies. And there's a lot of different mobs on that island, and I managed to save 2 zombies. It's the morning of day 201, which means I've already lived 200 days on this skyblock, and you can see how much my islands have changed. And I want to thank all of the sponsors of my channel that you can see on the screen. Bye-bye.